This week, in all its glory, the Mustang Mach-E. Here we are at Sydney Airport. There's the control tower. There's the airport. With the Mustang Mach-E, there's not very much Mustang in this Mustang Mach-E. That's the first problem I've got with it, is the name. If they'd have just called it a Mach-E, then I would have been fine, or Mach-E, however you want to say it. There is a Mustang on the front and on the keyring, and if you double press this, the bonnet pops up. And there is quite a generous front storage area. You can open it from the inside as well with two pulls of the handle. You may not be able to see it, but there's a keypad just here, a pull handle, and an electric button which releases the door. There's another button on the back which opens to reveal a fairly spacious interior. The center console's not got a lot in the way of controls. It's got a couple of vents, a flow control, and some power outlets, USB style. Medium-sized legroom, and red stitching on the fake artificial leather interior. The rear is a little more successful, I think. It's got a touch of Mustang on it, with the three individual tail lights. That look quite pretty at night. And let me show you this, a kick to open tailgate that has worked for me every single time. 60/40 split rear seats, a 12-volt outlet and a bag hook, and under the floor, enough room for all the cables you could ever want. And as well as a button and the fob, etc., to close the door. Oh, and the main tablet inside, of course, you can kick to close. And that's worked every time for me as well, remarkably. Once the start button's pressed, the little screen in front of the driver has come to life. And this beautiful large tablet, portrait style. Like one of the GM cars we tested last week, this is all tablet all the way down to the very bottom, including the LCD readout here in the center of the roundel. That also doubles as the fan control when you're in air conditioning mode. Steering wheel controls, they are really easy to use, and that thing that you can probably see flashing red is the driver attention warning device. Other than that, the other controls are just as you'd expect in any other car. Door controls are fairly easy. There's some memories for seats and so forth, and you can do that through the main screen. The rest of it is as per a normal car. There's some rather smart, genuine, fake, artificial carbon fiber effect. There's beautiful woven effect over the speakers and dash. All of the Mustang Mach-E's have Bang & Olufsen speakers. There's a charging pad down below, some dual cup holders, and the gear lever, the automatic parking, hazard flashes, and parking brake. There is a decent sized center bin too, and another USB. The overhead console is fairly simple and includes a sunglasses case, and there is this wonderful full width, full length glass roof. It doesn't have any kind of shade, so I suppose that'd get a bit hot in summer, but this isn't summer, luckily. And we have an anti-dazzle mirror. You can have auto with 3 different fan speeds. There's seat heating, steering wheel heating, but at least not in this model, seat cooling. I'm going to demo the parking. All right. I've selected which way I want to go, whether it's rear end, in, or parallel. It says it's stopped. Okay. Select N. All right. Press and hold parking assist button. Alrighty. You can see in the screen what it's doing. I'm not touching anything. I'm not touching the brake. Geez, that goes close. Blimey. That goes really close. I mean, that wouldn't have been a centimetre. I hope I'm not holding anybody up. It's painfully slow. All right. Seems to be centering itself between the cars rather than anything else. So let's just see. Oh, little burst of energy. Okay, that says it's parked. It's gone into park, it's applied the parking brake. No, it hasn't. There we go. I've applied the parking brake. That was a slightly scary experience. The ride on these fairly sporty tyres is firm, and this car doesn't have the range-topping Magneride suspension, which I suspect might make a bit of a difference. Adaptive suspension might take some of the firmness away. Otherwise, the ride is very firm. You can see the screen in full screen mode. Most of it is given over to the, in this case, Apple Maps, but there are maps also in the system itself. If I take it to home, I can go to navigation, and this is now the car's system. That's handy because that will navigate you to power outlets and so forth, so if you need to charge. While we're sitting here at the lights, let's talk a little bit about range. The range in this is about 600 kilometers for this range extended middle range model. So there's three. There's the standard range car, the long range car, both in rear wheel drive, and then there's the GT, which is also long range but has an extra motor. That has 358 kilowatts or something thereabouts. This one has 216 kilowatts and 420 newton meters, and the bottom of the range 71 kilowatt hour battery has 198, which is still respectable. The 0 to 100, it doesn't take your head off. I'm in a tunnel now. The automatic lights have come on. You can see how pretty this all looks. There is one noticeable absent. There's no head-up display. Because other cars that cost $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 less, especially the Chinese ones, all have digital displays all around, including one that projects onto the windscreen. The traffic sign recognition on this seems to be remarkably accurate. I'm just now going to set the cruise control. Now I'm at 100 kilometers an hour. Mustang's driving itself, the Mach-E. It's keeping an eye out of that awful traffic. It's keeping an eye on what's around me. And I've found the driving to be absolutely incredibly smooth. So let's round up the Mustang Mach-E. It is quiet, capable, relatively handsome. I'm liking these bulges in the bonnet. That's very Mustang-esque. As you look out over it, you could fool yourself into thinking that you're in a 60s classic until you take off and there's absolutely no sound whatsoever. It's when you look around inside that you realise it's a thoroughly modern car. It's got a nicer interior than most of the Korean brands. The Chinese brands are certainly on a par, and unless you pay much more, you're not going to get much better than this. And I find it strange that for this price, I've got a single motor only. Now for this price, you can get a top spec Tesla Model Y. And that would be its main competition. Whether Ford likes it or not, Model Y, according at least to Tesla, is the best selling car in the world of any single model, according to Tesla. So don't write in and criticize me for it. That's what they said. So if that's the case, Mach-E is very, very, very far from that. Then you have the Chinese brands that are much, much cheaper, and they're faster, and similarly equipped. Most of them don't have a Bang & Olufsen sound system, but nonetheless, the seats are comfortable, and I like a comfortable tush. I'm of an age where I like to be ushered along the road rather than propelled like a demented missile. So this suits me. The style of driving suits me. The steering suits me. The acceleration suits me. I think my track days are long gone. I don't enjoy that at all anymore. I think the legacy brands have left their EV run till very late. So, would I buy one of these? Well, it's about $13,000 cheaper now. They seem to have had a $13,000 cut across the board. Here's the prices. And I've taken that screenshot directly from the Ford website. I will leave you to draw your own conclusions. That's all this week for the Mustang Mach-E. I quite like it. I think it's a bit expensive, but it drives beautifully. As always, hit like, leave a comment, and just on the roundel to subscribe.